All right, all right. Hey, hey, welcome back. All right, so Leos, let's take a quick peek at what is the energy that this upcoming full moon is going to be bringing in. We got a six of sacred circles, and this particular full moon is the snow moon, and we actually have a full moon depicted here behind the stand of trees. I know this feels like kind of a barren, lonely card because we've got this tree of life. We have just one set of footprints. But I have to say, to me, this says if this full moon is bringing up. By the way, it also denotes cycles, a cycle that's about to change. But if this full moon denotes what's bringing up from like the subconscious, it could be that Leo is like really dedicating themselves to their like growing their tree of life and to even here like there's these cute little lights that are actually strung in the tree of life that just haven't been plugged in a while. I feel like Leo is getting back to something that they really need to do. They've had this idea and they've been like trudging toward it. It's like, you know what? I totally forgot about that project that I still want to work on. I think that it's time I come back to something that I really want to put my energy into. I feel right now like Leo is either recognizing that maybe they were very hurt. And look, we got to go with what we see on the cards. Please remember these are fictional. But if Leo felt like they had an inconsistent lover, they had somebody who cheated on them, they had somebody who didn't choose them. If this is what happened to Leo, Leo's might be saying, you know what? Honestly, I spent way too much time thinking about that sorrow. And frankly, I just am really ready to like reconnect to my own life, the person I used to be. I was so happy. I didn't, before I met them, before I met somebody that I couldn't rely on, like I wasn't sad. So why would I be sad now that they're out of my life? If they weren't the right person for me, then by all means, let them go. The reason I do bring that up is because this is King Arthur and Lancelot, and of course there was a betrayal there between Lancelot steals his lady in King Arthur stories, and that was his best friend. So I do have to mention that part of it because it feels like, I mean, if you look closely, whoever didn't do right by Leo, they may have a ton of regrets. Honestly, they may be the ones carrying all the regrets at this point. They may actually be the one who feels so much worse about everything. And Leo's just kind of like recommitting to their own happy life. It does feel like Leo has walked away from something, but I'm thinking that they walked away from the entire sordid affair and they're fine now. I think that this is Leo realizing I'm so much better. I'm actually happy again. I'm back to my tree of life. I'm going to flip on my cute little lights. I am ready to get back to some things that I used to love doing. Yeah, Judgment card, and this is Leo, like Elvis leaving the building, right? I'm jumping through this portal. I feel good again. I don't know what's happened, but I'm over the past hurt. I'm better now. This is amazing. This is Leo making the decision to leave this lonely space, leave these night after night of, maybe crying themselves to sleep, maybe being alone at night. I I feel like this bodes very, very, very well for Leo. I do have to ask, why is Lancelot rubbernecking and looking so perturbed and staring back at King Arthur here? Because somebody is being left with all the sorrow, and we know that it is not Leo. So I'm thinking that it's them. Wow. Strength card and the Princess of Sacred Circles. There's our Leo. They are looking back at Leo and seeing. Honestly, I think Leo's never looked hotter, sexier, more empowered, more dazzling. I do think that they are realizing they made the wrong choice. This is like, how did I not see what I had? How could I possibly have been swayed away from Leo? How on earth? They feel like they're missing out on the love story or the life they were supposed to have had, but they're the ones who cheated in this storyline. So, Leo, I'm very sorry, but that is a component of this. With the Princess of Pentacles here, or Sacred Circles as they call it here, they're wishing that they could somehow convey how amazing they think Leo is. Like, they are dazzled by Leo. They have never seen anybody stronger. They've never seen anybody more empowered. They've never seen it's just like they want to say, almost as if it's not them who did this. Like if they could take themselves out of the equation and not be the person that did Leo dirty, they would come up to Leo and they would say, like, I can't believe anybody could have ever walked away from you. I can't believe anybody would have chosen someone other than you, Leo. I mean, I look at you and you're, the most empowered, most self-possessed, most impressive. I mean, look, if you've ever seen a lion, they are, why they're the king of the jungle. You know it because you see there's something so regal, there's something so amazing. They may love the way Leo moves, they may be super impressed with just the dignity that Leo has, and it is like you're in the presence of greatness. They see that, and if they weren't the ones who had done Leo wrong, they would be able to come forward and say to Leo, I can't believe anybody would choose someone other than you, Leo. You are magnificent. Anybody who can't see that is a damn fool. The problem is they're the ones who did this, but that's the point. They have this 5 of Cups emotion. They lost a friend, a lover, an amazing person. So this full moon is hitting them really hard. But for Leo, it's setting Leo free. Leo's over this. And maybe that is exactly why the energy flips and it's them feeling the, oh my God, what have I done? What have I lost? I can't believe what I've lost. This is huge, huge energy for them. For Leo, it's huge also, but in a completely different direction. I want to go with that Judgment card. King of Cups. I don't think Leo's going to be alone more than a second. And this could be on the heels of Leo having been alone night after night, month after month, maybe year after year. And everything is changing like almost immediately for Leo. There is some other King of Cups out there for them. There is somebody new. There is a romantic interest. This could be almost eerie how swiftly this happens. Like Leo could go from, we keep seeing nighttime here and here, and then we have dawn. And it could be the difference between one night, maybe tomorrow, the full moon. Leo might go to bed saying, I don't know, I feel good. I feel fine. I don't even hurt over that anymore. In fact, I literally don't have any emotion. I just feel excited about whatever my life is going to hold. I'm excited about like getting back to some stuff I want to do. And it could literally be the next morning when they're going to get their cup of coffee. I'm sorry, but he's got his coffee cup here and he's all suited up and he's got, it's a cold day or something. And he's got his, earmuffs on and his, gaiter to stay warm and his turtleneck and his snow cap or something. And Leo and this person lock eyes at the coffee house on their way to work. And it's like, oh my God, there's my person. Just last night, I said I was over my ex. How is it possible that I could meet somebody so soon, so swiftly? Because that's the way stuff goes. That's when the energy changes, when things shift. And a full moon is a great time for a shift. That song by Bobby Darin, what a difference a day makes, only 24 hours. That is so appropriate here because who would have guessed by nightfall of the next day, right? By dawn, they meet him. And that evening, it's like, I can't believe this, but this person fits into my life. I have a 10 of Pentacles starting. Maybe Leo is asked out by this person and it's like, I can't believe it, but this is the man that is not going to leave my side and I'm not going to leave his side. Maybe we get snowed in together. Maybe bizarrely, we go out for our first date and then it turns out we somehow accidentally meet each other's entire family and it's just simpatico. How can this happen? You notice that the full moon is still here and the energy of the full moon kind of spans 3 days. That's why I wanted to like really jump on these because I got to get all these zodiacs done between today and tomorrow to make sure that I can get the full moon messages out for everybody. Queen of Sacred Circles, again, we see the full moon here. Everything is like, I think it's going to click into place so beautifully and I think it's going to all make sense. I feel like Leo is going to have some weird deja vu moment. They could feel connected to like an ancestor. They could, they always say that when you know something's right, you just know it's right. I feel as if maybe Leo's been given that kind of like advice from like a grandmother figure or somebody where it's like, can you really feel so like you go from such the wrong connection and you spend so much time getting over it, and then one day you're over it, and seemingly so swiftly you can meet the right person and you just know. Is that really possible? I'm wondering if in Leo's like family lineage, that is a common thread. If in Leo's, and I say this because we've got all the phases of the moon up here. If it's almost like if Leo could go back in time and talk. By the way, I own that necklace, literally that that necklace, one of the squash blossoms. I've worn it on here before, but mine is in red, not in teal. But I feel like Leo has gone ahead and either they're remembering words that a family member has said, and they're realizing I am now my grandmother. This her story is now my story. I too have met somebody, and it's like after these experiences in life, these when you get through just so many phases of the moon, so many years, so many months, so many experiences, then you come full circle, and that's when your next life begins. There's something here that's very special about this full moon, because we see it way too many times on these cards. This is very meaningful for our Leo right now. This is really exciting. Leo's person, forever person, could be a King of Cups. Doesn't matter if he's kind of got reddish hair and a beard or not. Doesn't matter if he's really a water sign or not. We simply see somebody whose heart and eyes are open. This is an amazing matchup. What do they think when they first meet Leo? What does that King of Cups think when he first sees Leo? Leo's mine. Leo's my lover. Okay. Spicy. They already know Leo has to pick me. Leo has to pick me because I have to be with them. I always look at this Four of Pentacles again as the tree of life. I have been waiting for somebody like this for so long. We see this little squirrel who's been tucking all of these acorns in this knot of the tree. And then we see that he's been down here waiting for somebody to fully build with. It's like, I can't believe I'm meeting this person. I know this is my one. He does not have any question marks. Six of Pentacles. It's like the day Leo walks into his life, the morning, again, there's the coffee cup. The morning Leo walks into my life is the morning I already know that Leo's my person. It's going to be very mutual for these two. When does this happen? Actually, hang on. Let me leave those there. When does this happen? No, let me change deck. When does this happen? Because it feels like right now. Mastery of Swords, Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Swords in the reverse. To me, I would say like in the now. This looks more like the sun than the moon behind him. But it's like, we already described it during this full moon. Like Leo is having this massive epiphany that they're over the ex of the past. They're over that. They're fine with how things ended. They're not looking back, and they're moving on. That's why I think it's like, again, there's something about like, I don't know if Leo's going to see a bird or something like that, or if there's just a lot of like sun's rays coming in the morning that they meet that King of Cups. It could be very early in the morning when they meet that King of Cups. But it's like, Leo's having a good day. They're off to a good start. I feel like the King of Cups might really be wearing a hat, because we've seen him with a head covering twice now. And Leo's just not even going to have any hint of like inhibition. Can we see one last card? Anything about that ex? May I see anything about the ex who is still in very profound regret? Four of Swords. I want to say they're in the timeout chair. I mean, they can't talk to Leo. Whatever choices they made in life, I don't see them being able to come back in and communicate. Seven of Wands. They're going to spy on Leo, and I only say that because of the position that this character is in on the card. But I do think that they're going to be in silence and solitude. They may be headed for some serious blocks in whatever that other connection is that they chose instead of Leo. And the biggest blockage is maybe just that inner knowledge that I chose completely wrong, and it is so achingly obvious to me. I chose wrong, but there's too many blockages for them to be able to come back in and start talking to Leo again. I just think that they're kind of like, in this case, they're kind of relegated to the realm of having to just watch Leo move on with life. I mean, it doesn't look very happy for them, to be completely honest. You know, they chose somebody other than Leo, and they are recognizing that it was completely wrong. They chose completely wrong. Let's ask one last question. What prompted them to choose wrong? Or maybe we should say they chose right because they weren't the right person for Leo. Knight of Cups. They loved Leo, but they left Leo anyway. I don't know if they were like, well, I mean, I do love them, but I still want to see what else is out there. You notice how this Knight of Cups is still an action taker. They are like, I found the best, but I think I still want to go sample other palettes or something. I don't really know that I want to stay and commit here when there's, other adventures still to be had. What if I love somebody else also? What if there's something else that I want to go off and do? No wonder they are sitting there with a very bitter mouthful to swallow, because they had the person of their life, someone they will never replace, somebody they could never, ever even barely, they'll never compare. Nobody else is ever going to compare to Leo. But they didn't know that till now. Too bad. So sad. I'm not sad for them at all. I'm glad that Leo is onward to that King of Cups. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving this a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.